just finished an awesome walkthrough and tour of the Partners Group space that we completed for them from a workplace strategy perspective, project management perspective, and I gotta tell you, the space looks incredible. We went through an entire workplace strategy visioning and culture development project with them. We want to talk about what is workplace strategy, who does it, who specifically does it, why we do it, what it means to you, and walking you through that journey. So we have Gillian with us, who is our workplace strategist. She's a workplace strategist ninja, and her whole team. Just walk us through what the purpose of workplace strategy is. What does it mean? What is it that you actually do?
So workplace strategy, the way that I like to think about it, it's really the plan to get to a plan. It's not just where do we land or how much space do we take, but what actually happens within those four walls of the office. So our team at Cresa, the Workplace Solutions Group, is filled with just a lot of really amazing team members that have backgrounds in interior design, architecture, space planning, occupancy planning, all of these things that are related to the physical workplace, the physical work environment. Our team is really dedicated and just focused on understanding our clients, understanding what drives them from a business objectives perspective, from a cultural perspective, what they're trying to achieve within their workplace, and then helps them figure out how do we actually execute that? What's the actionable strategy to get there?
I would say traditionally a lot of companies end up walking around looking at space, and the space is already built out or already has features, and they say, we can make do with that, I suppose. But this is really taking that process away from trying to fit your company into a space and creating a space that you really need.
So many times people say, I think I need 20,000 feet. We've got 150 people, we think we need 30,000 feet or 40,000 feet. The workplace team sort of asks is like, why? Why do you need 30,000 feet? Well, because that's what we have now. Well, haven't things changed? Mm-hmm. Hasn't your culture changed? Hasn't we have 5 to 6 generations in the workplace? Haven't those things changed since you were last in the space? Your team does that masterfully.
One of the most often asked questions that we get is, what's everybody else doing with workplace? Nobody knows what's happening with the future of work. Are we in it? Are we not? Do we even know our own work style patterns now? People are just asking the question, what's everybody else doing? We want to know that benchmark and just be able to say, we're checking the box or no, we're not. With workplace strategy, we want to bring a little bit more of a depth to that question. Instead of just what's everybody else doing, why? What's the purpose for your space? What's the purpose for your workplace? Is it part of your team culture? Is it where your community is built? If you've got a fully remote workforce and they just need a couple of places to drop in a few times a week, we want to ask the right questions. We want to dig in deep and understand so that we can optimize and tailor, really customize the solutions for your team, for your company.
As we walk through this space, there was intentionality about every piece that went into it. I mean, you saw the core values sort of spread out throughout. That was not just after the fact, let's add that. That was all part of the visioning and the planning and the strategy about doing it. Let's make the real estate functional and focused on the people that are going to be inside it.
Absolutely.
And it's really more important now than ever. You're not just looking at it to be functional, but you're also looking at it to attract people to be in the office. I mean, I think the hybrid model will be here for a long time, but you still want that creativity of people in the office and be able to provide something that supports that. What I love about what our experience with you has been is you're taking that and you're actually boiling it down a little bit to, well, here are some numbers to help you decide. We've seen it, visible relief. Clients have visible relief, like, oh gosh, yes, okay, that makes sense actually. Now I see, that really helps, versus just a kind of broad stroke, oh, well, yeah, this might work and that might work and how do we do it? But actually boiling it down to a game plan, to numbers to support that game plan, and be able to communicate that to the employees, communicate that to C-suite is so valuable.
You can deliver a beautiful space, but if it's not the right space for your team, and if they don't know what's coming, and if they haven't been properly prepared and had the time to understand why it's the benefit and really sign off on it and get on board, it's going to fall flat. And there's ways that we can prevent that for sure through change management. There's ways that we can prevent that by making sure that people feel that they have a voice. They've got the platform to put their thoughts out there, to give input and give leadership the chance to consider that as well. We're making sure that we're creating a strategy that is actionable, that can be built, but also at the heart of it, we know that it's going to work for our clients. We know that it's going to work for that specific team because we've taken the time, we've dug in deep, we've gone to different levels of the organization, we've aligned that with the overall objectives, values, and vision of the leadership team, and everybody can move forward together.
Yeah. And one example you said where all employees can have some input into the process. Looking at the IT room or the desk that they have in this space is a perfect example. I mean, they got feedback from their IT team as to what they might want and how that might work, and they did it. According to Partners Group, that's a great feature in this space. I think that's a beautiful example.
I think the sort of an unsung hero, I think, is change management. I think a lot of organizations are saying, we've got comms, and we've got HR, and we'll make sure that it gets distributed and however the plan might be. But what we've realized as we sort of open the hood a little bit is yes, you do, most organizations have strong comms and HR and people teams, culture teams. But it's always helpful to have a little bit of that third-party guidance too. Having a partner in workplace strategy and change management and working with the team has just, I think, like Connor said, has just, you've seen people like this and they just go, just take a breath because they've got a strong partner that can help guide them through that journey.
And in some cases, as in some projects we're working on now, where they continue to ask you, actually, can you tell our C-suite this? Can you tell our entire staff about this? That's an example of you coming completely on board to explain the change management and give everyone that sense of relief, so to speak. That that is interesting the way you put it. Change management is the unsung hero.
You think of the movie Office Space and what an inspiring workplace that could be versus something like this where it was done well. The time was taken, the thoughtfulness was given to create a space that could impact productivity, foster that collaborative atmosphere that Partners Group is trying to perpetuate, and really just become the embodiment, the physical embodiment of their cores and values. If you don't acknowledge the impact that a workplace can have on your employees, you're missing the mark. Once you do acknowledge that it can be a very vital part of your culture, it's not going to solve all your problems. Real estate's never going to be the main driver for your business, but it can certainly help in a lot of different areas. It can help foster those goals, foster collaboration, or it can impact it. It's impacting your employees and your team one way or the other. So let's definitely take the time up front to understand what we want that impact to be.
That's the point of workplace strategy, is to listen and understand what it is that you're bringing to the table and what it is that the organization feels they need, and then have us challenge, right? And have us push back and have that positive partnership dialogue to then get something delivered like this.
Well, I would just say, reach out, give us a call. We always love to have the conversations, even if you have nowhere to begin, you're not even sure what's happening, we don't know what we're doing moving forward, if we're hybrid, if we're not. It's fine. Call us. We'd love to have the discussions. If you want the answer to the question, what's everybody else doing these days, we can have that too. But just know that we're going to continue to ask the questions to make you consider and make you think, because our goal at the end of the day is to connect with our clients, reach out with them, have the discussions, and make sure that they know that we are here to support their workplace strategy journeys.